Okay, it's been a pretty long road, but we are on our final set for animals, and this set is going to be insects. Okay, so let's start off by having your paper, drawing material, which is your pencil, your eraser, and whatever else you need to draw. We're going to start off with a very simple picture, and then we're going to slowly work our way to a more difficult picture. Okay, so starting off with a very simple insect shape. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a circle. The circle is going to represent the thorax, which is the centerpiece of the insect, because the insects come in sections. They have three distinct sections. The first being the head, second being the thorax, and the final one being the abdomen or the stomach. Interesting, yeah, that the stomach would be on the back of the bug, and you would think that this would be the stomach, but this is actually the thorax. So connected to the thorax, we're going to have a egg shape, and the egg's going to be upside down on the pointy part. This bottom part is the mouth, and this rounded part up here is the top of the head. And then finally we are going to have the abdomen, and the abdomen is going to be a rounded oval-like shape. Okay, so this is basically the initial beginning to an insect. Okay, from here you can make a lot of different types of insects and bugs, but for this particular one we are choosing to do here, it's going to be a bee. So in order to finish our bee, coming out of the thorax, we actually have all the legs and everything. Okay, so on the top of the thorax we're going to go ahead and put, well, actually towards the middle, like where the shoulder should be, we're going to put these big ovular shapes coming out. These are the wings. So we'll do one on each side. That same ovular kind of line is going to be used on top of the head, and that's going to be used for the eyes. The eyes have those same kind of big ovular shapes. There's one on this side and one on the other side that you can't really see. And right in the middle of the eyes we have these little nodule things, these little like skinny thin ovals, like rods sticking out, and that's the antenna. So these rods stick out from the center of the bee's head. We'll just go ahead and connect them with these little ovular shapes. Okay, in the front we have a couple of triangles. Right in front of the mouth area has those little triangles. Now coming out from under the thorax, we're going to have a bunch of these same kind of shapes. We're just going to make these little rods, these really interesting ovals, skinny ovals. So we have one rod there, one rod there. We have another rod coming out here, which shoots forward this way. Then another one shoots forward this way. It kind of looks a lot like the way like crabs and lobsters have their shells. The insects kind of have the same thing going on there. We have another leg coming up into the thorax, and then the leg comes back down into the abdomen, and these look way thicker. These definitely look like crab legs, the way they're in these sections. And then I have these little fuzzy feet where they can cling on to things. So because my legs are going through my body, I'm going to go ahead and erase the details that's being cut off. Don't need those anymore. Okay. We do have another fuzzy leg coming down by the beak, the little fingers, like that. Now inside the wings, if you notice inside the wings, they have all these little details and lines coming up like veins. They look very, very similar to the honeycomb shape running through their wings there. It's pretty cool. The back of the abdomen has these stripes. I think these marks here, these markings are very, very, very much tells you that these are honeybees. They also have stingers, but they don't bring their stingers out unless they're being threatened. So if a honeybee lands on you, you don't have to smash it. You don't have to like get scared. It'll fly off once it realizes that you are not a flower and you don't have any food on you. Okay? So don't freak out when a honeybee lands on you. They're not going to sting you unless you slap them. Alright, the thorax is extremely fuzzy. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these fuzzy lines around my original shape here, and I'm going to erase the lines that's creating this shape because I want my shape to be this fuzzy texture now. And then it also has a little fuzzy head, so I'm going to add these jagged lines, these zigzag lines on the top of the head, on the front of the face, because the face is fuzzy too. And I'm going to erase that smoother line that makes it look more like an ant. And there we have our little fuzzy honeybee. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This one is going to look just like the bee. Oh shoot. I'm going to draw a circle for the thorax. I am going to draw a teardrop or an egg shape for the head. But this one has a very long thorax. I'm not a thorax, but a abdomen. Very, very long, like a stick. So here's the exaggeration right here. Instead of having a rounded abdomen like the honeybee, this one has a really long one. Very long abdomen. Okay. And this one has similar eyes. Has little pinchers on the front of the mouth. Very similar again. This time the thorax has these very colorful plates on top of its body, kind of an iridescent like in color, and sticking out from the thorax we have the arms and the wings just like the bee. You're seeing a little pattern here with these animals. Okay, so we have one wing sticking up. We have another wing sticking to the side. The arms are coming out of the thorax, but then, you know what? They're kind of curled up. You can't really see them because this one is in flight. So the arms are kind of close to its body, keeping them safe. But the wings do double back. Right, and there's a couple more wings off the side, flapping really fast. And once again, these have similar lines on the wings, like the bee does, and has these textures that come down. The structure of these wings are just so amazing. I mean, they flap these things so fast, and they can fly so quickly. You know. Amazing construct. Right, and on the back of the abdomen it has these small details that separate it from this type of insect. So here we have a dragonfly. Okay. Alright, let's move on to our third insect. And as you can probably tell, we're going to start with a circle for the thorax. We're going to have a teardrop shape for the head. For this abdomen, it's not going to be round and it's not going to be long. It's going to be rectangular. Rectangular in shape. This creature has a much bigger thorax than its head, but it does have some really cool designs coming off of it. So as you can see, the arms and legs, the arms stick off, but instead of being rods, like if you look at the bee that has these little rods, and you look at the dragonfly and it has these skinny sticks, this one has these huge pieces here. Okay, this one kind of looks like a trapezoid. This one kind of looks like a butter knife, and then you've got these really long hands, and at the tip of those hands you have these little claws that grab onto stuff. So this thing is enormous. Coming out the back, we have another one of these trapezoid like so I'm noticing that the arms that come directly off of the body, the thorax, have these huge trapezoid shapes, and then the second one is usually kind of this longer butter knife like line that comes off, and then finally it goes to the fuzzy fingertip like extension. So same thing on the bottom for the back leg, and have the same thing, but instead all we're going to see is the butter knife and then the extension. Okay, and then we can also see the little extension coming out from the other side of the butt. Now on the top of the thorax, we're going to have this huge crescent moon-like shape coming up and down and connecting to the top of the thorax. Okay, and then you have another one of those crescent moons popping up, kind of like horns sticking out of the top of this thing. Okay, and from the head, we've got these big eyes. You can see one of them from one side, and on top of the other side, instead of having these teardrop eyes, it has these big round ones. And sticking out from the top of the head, we have a long branch-like shape sticking out. So when you have this branch here, let's erase some of these lines so we can see things better. These long branch-like things, and it comes back up. It separates into two separate twigs, and it comes back down, and that comes up into two separate twigs. Not exactly sure what that's for. And then from there we have an antenna sticking out, and then his head is slightly hidden by the thorax plate. Just erase some of those lines. And then we put a line going down the rectangle here, not in the middle, more towards the top, because we are looking at the side of the bug. So you want to kind of give it the illusion that we're looking at more of the left side of the bug. So there we go. So there it is, our final section on animals, which are insects. And what a way to finish. We have 3 different insects, going from a typical shaped one to more exaggerated lines and more details. From here you guys can add your own textures and whatnot to finish it off. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be probably an animal that you guys see every single day. Or should I say a mammal that we see every day, and that's going to be people. So tomorrow, stick around for tomorrow's art at home, because we're going to be learning how to do people. I know it's something that I should have kind of explained earlier, since we've been drawing people during the RTI for quite a while. But I'm going to try and give you guys a rundown of how people should be drawn. And we're going to try and do them from different angles too. So stick around. See you next time.